Well, I said I'd cover this, so what is the grid looking like for the big boy toys in the GT ranks? So GT World Challenge Australia is starting up this weekend. Now under full control of SRO, this series is looking to be a strong one this year. We have 18 cars confirmed for round 1, 7 manufacturers and some interesting names. So I will go through all 18 cars that are looking to make the grid this weekend and see if there are any notable names. But if you want to see more of this content and you like what you see from moi, give a like and a subscribe. The support would be very much appreciated, and follow me on TikTok for more of that shorter based daily content that people like. So I'll be going alphabetical order when it comes to manufacturers. The first one being Aston Martin, and coincidentally, they have the number 1 car. Liam Talbot is back going for 3 for 3, and by that I mean 3 championships with 3 different manufacturers. He got the first one with Audi, then with Ferrari. Can he do it with Aston Martin? And Valentino Rossi, his teammate this year, will not be a supercars driver, although it will be a former supercars driver. Declan Fraser has moved over from Triple Eight now that they're not doing GT racing, and is looking to get his first championship since the Dunlop Super 2 series he won in 2022. The fleet of Audis will be back, 6 of them, 5 from Melbourne Performance Centre, and there are some very competitive names that are looking to win this championship. The first one being Tim Miles and Brendan Leach. This is a all New Zealand combination and looking to be quite an interesting one. Hopefully they keep that black livery. The second one, the drivers are to be confirmed so far, but it says it's entered into the trophy class. I assume this is either going to be a first gen Audi R8 or even a 2015 version. Either way, it's very cool because those trophy cars are very sick and I'd like to see more of them on the grid. The second one is a supercars driver of this year making his GT debut. Ryan Wood will be making his GT racing debut. He will be alongside Steve Brooks in the 88 car. Now this car did a bit of running last year. Hopefully they do better than they did last year. The next Melbourne Performance Audi is an AM class car, one of 4 AM class and the only non-Mercedes I think. This is the Rene Gracie Audi R8. Now this was initially meant to be a combination of Gracie and Paul Stokell in the AM class, but unfortunately SRO has said nah on that combination because apparently Paul Stokell is too good or whatever. Anyway, Rene Gracie will be very competitive in this class though. The next one is not a Melbourne Performance Centre Audi, it is Team BRM. Mark Rosser and Alex Peroni are back. Last year they made it starts in this car and won some races. Hopefully they'll be back to that winning form this year. And the final car is the 888 car from Melbourne Performance Centre. Brad Schumacher will get his pick of the bunch when it comes to the 888 drivers. Brock Feeney and Will Brown will do 3 rounds each this year, hoping to give Brad Schumacher a bit of history on his side. He's won the trophy class and the AM class. Can he win the Pro Am class? He nearly did it last year with Will Brown exclusively. Can he get there one step further with Brock Feeney on his side as well? The next car is my favourite car on the grid now, and a car that I covered on its own video on TikTok. The number 38 car entered by Valentino Asturi and a to be confirmed driver will be driving a Bentley Continental GT. Now I don't think this has seen Australian racing since 2020 and the Bathurst 12 out that they won, so it's good to see this Lanyard back on the grid because we need these cars that are weird, that like the trophy class cars or these big GT3 cars. That this car will be actually in the Pro-Am class. We need more of these like unique cars. Bring a McLaren back, a Nissan back, any of those cars that you can say, wow, that's cool, that's not an Audi or a Mercedes, I want to support that thing, like the Bentley. Speaking of unique cars, Arise Racing GT is back with a pair of Ferraris. except one of them will have a new driver combination. Jackson Evans and Elliott Shute will be back in their car, now rebranded the number 26, but now the number 77 will have Jordan Love and Steve Wyatt, who is a new AM driver to the grid, and Jordan Love is an existing Mercedes driver. Can he have that form that he had in Mercedes over to the Ferrari? We'll see. Speaking of Mercedes, they're next. Now, from what I remember, they described a group of Mercedes at the 12 hour as a battalion of Mercedes, and this is a fairly good battalion here going on. Ben Schutz and Shane Woodman will be back in their Black Wolf entered car. Like I said, one of many AM drivers in Mercedes, one of 3 combinations. They had a bit of a tough start last year in their first entries into GT3 racing. Can they make that one step further and win the AM class? Well, they're going to have a bit of combination because this mini battalion next is all Tigani cars, and their pro car, or their AM class car, is the Condurance brothers. Theo and James have been in this class competitively for many years, but I don't think they've won it. Can they do that this year? The first of 2 pro cars from Tigani is got Sergio Perez, who has been a long time AM class car with Marcel Zaloa, but Marcel with business commitments has to step back, and they got British driver George King, which is a very British name coming from a British heritage person. He has got a lot of LMP2 and LMP3 experience, so can he convert that into GT3 experience? And the combination of Jaden the Juice Ojeda, now an AMG factory driver, and Paul Lichetti will be back on the grid in the 66 car. This was very competitive last year, and they'll be looking to take out the Pro AM class honours. The next car, the number 96 car, is another Team Kiwi combination. In fact, it's a father-son combination. Ant Pedersen will be combined with Paul Pedersen. Now, Ant Pedersen did a bit of V8 racing in the mid-2010s, especially at Bathurst for Super Black and in the Super Tourist. Paul Pedersen did a bit of V8 NZ racing in the 90s and 2000s, and in fact has done a bit of GT racing lately in a GT2 spec Mercedes. And the last of the battalion is the 111 Darren Curry Axel Donaldson car. Now, if you remember, this is the car that withdrew from the 12 hour in the last minute because of sponsorship commitments. But they are full focus on GT World Challenge this year after doing the last round of last year's series. Can the former Mark Cars drivers win the AM class? And the final 2 cars are both Pro-Am cars, both unique cars to this series and are looking to win. First car is the Tony D'Alberto Adrian Dietz Lambo. I think this will be doing selective rounds this year, but it's good to see this car back on the grid. This is a fan favourite, has been the only Huracan for many years. Hopefully they get some good results out of it. And the final car on this 18 car grid is a Porsche. EMA Motorsport is back, this time with Shane Smolin, the former GT4 and Carrera Cup driver for Porsche, will be racing with Dorian Boccolacci. Now, if you don't remember that name, he raced in the FIA F2 series for a few years and is now the Porsche Asia Pacific selected driver. Can they bring EMA back to the top step of the podium? So that is the full grid for this round. Hopefully they get a few more cars on the grid throughout the year. If you like this video and you want to see more from me, give a like and a subscribe like I said. It really shows that people like what I'm putting out, and I appreciate the support. And follow me on TikTok for that shorter based content, and I will see you in the next video where I cover the full GT4 car list, which looks to be 31 cars long.